Oh, hello there. I'm Bilchan.
I'm Nimakung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you. Chapter 10, Section 3 of the picture of Dorian Gray.
Yes.
Oh.
The picture of Dorian Gray. Oscar Wilde. Chapter 10, Section 3. No. That was impossible. Hour by hour. And week by week. The thing upon the canvas was growing old. It might escape the high dose of sin, but the high dazzleness of age was in store for it. The cheeks would become hollow or flaccid. Yellow crow's feet would creep round the fading eyes and make them horrible. The hair would lose its brightness. The mouth would gape or droop, would be foolish or gross, as the mouths of old men are. There would be the wrinkled throat, the cold, blue-veined hands, the twisted body. That he remembered his grandfather who had been so stern to him in his boyhood. The picture had to be concealed. There was no help for it. Bring it in. Waste it. Albert. Please, he said, wearily, turning round. I am sorry I kept you so long. Always glad to have a rest. Waste it. Gray, answered the frame maker. He was still gasping for breath. Where shall we put it? Well, anywhere. This will do. I don't want to have it up. Just lean it against the wall. Might one look at the work of art. Dorian started. It would not interest you. Waste it. Albert, he said, keeping his eye on the men. He felt ready to leap upon him and fling him to the ground if he dared to lift the gorgeous hang that concealed the secret of his life. I shan't trouble you any more now. Not at all. Not at all. Waste it. Parrot. Ever ready to do anything for you? And Mr. Hubbard tramped downstairs, followed by the assistant. He glanced back at Dorian with a look of shy wonder in his rough and comely face. He had never seen anyone so marvellous. When the sound of their footsteps had died away, Dorian locked the door and put the key in his pocket. He felt safe now. No one would ever look upon the horrible thing. No eyes would ever see his shame. On reaching the library, he found that it was just after 5 o'clock and that the tea had been already brought up on a little table of dark perfumed wood thickly encrusted with nacre. A present from Lady Radley, his guardian's wife. A pretty professional invalid who had spent the preceding winter in Cairo was lying a note from Lord Henry, and beside it was a book bound in yellow paper, the cover slightly torn and the edges soiled. A copy of the 3rd edition of The Street. James's Gazette had been placed on the tea tray. It was evident that Victor had returned. He wondered if he had met the men in the hall as they were leaving the house and had warmed out of them what they had been doing. He would be sure to miss the picture, had no doubt missed it already. While he had been laying the tea things, the screen had not been set back, and a blank space was visible on the wall. Perhaps some night he might find him creeping upstairs and trying to force the door of the room. It was a horrible thing to have a spy in one's house. He had heard of rich men who had been blackmailed all their lives by some servant who had read a letter or heard a conversation or picked up a card with an address or found beneath a pillow or with a flower or a shred of crumpled lace. He sighed, and having poured himself out some tea, opened Lord Henry's note. It was simply to say that he sent him around the evening paper and a book that might interest him, and that he would be at the club at 8:15. He opened the street, James's languidly, and looked through it. A red pencil mark on the 5th page caught his eye. It drew attention to the following paragraph. Inquest on an actress. An inquest was held this morning at the Bell Tavern, Hoxton Road, by Mr. Danby, the district coroner, on the body of Sybil Vane, a young actress recently engaged at the Royal Theatre, Holborn. A verdict of death by misadventure was returned. Considerable sympathy was expressed for the mother of the deceased, who was greatly affected during the giving of her own evidence, and that of Dr. Beale, who had made the post-mortem examination of the deceased. To be continued.